they miss doing this with their elbow, right? So they try to turn and they hit this, right? And they don't realize they have to tuck it behind them, right? They get here and they're like, oh, I just have to get up. And they spend all that time trying to build up here. Well, you do that with pressure on you and you're never gonna get up, right? If there's a person on top of me and I do this and I'm like, I'm gonna get up. No, you're not. You're gonna get forced right back down, right? Because it meets the same criteria as when we put the hand in front. It collapses too easy when we put force on it, right? So if I do this and someone puts force this direction, I have no real strength. You put force on me, you're just trying to drive me on top of my elbow. And then the next thing you did was you used your neck and your shoulder space as a base point, right? Obviously, oh, okay, I shouldn't say the next thing. The other thing you did, right, was the transfer of the leg, right? Going from here, tucking, and then you're planting, and then transferring leg, right? AKA doing a hip switch, where your hip is no longer facing the front. Facing front, facing the sky. I'm sorry, your hips are facing the sky. Right. And then you use your head to build height. Right. Come here. And then even here, we can move into different types of rolling.
Yeah.
Or collapse back. Or finish all the way through and build.
It's the warm up. It's just like
it
the
is a
warm-up
compass
where
drill.
you're just here and then you're.
But there's a reason why we do it.
Yeah.
Right? And when people miss the aspect with resistance, they don't understand why we do it, right? Because that's how you actually turn. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, not always do you get your hand in. So what's the other way of doing it? Well, if your hand's not able to come this direction, go this way. Same thing, but you would like the pillow, like so. Does that make sense? So, you can't always tuck your elbow, right? And you can't always straighten it, but normally you can do one or the other.
Right.
Right? So if you can't tuck it, right, because you're like, oh, there's something here, that means I can typically do this. Make a sense? You want to give that a try? Oh no, I just want you to do it without out resistance. See that you can do it, and then we can add resistance to all of these.
Instead of doing this, it went in my head.
Mm-hmm. It's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about trying to tuck your ear into your bicep. Make it like a pillow.
I like a pillow right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, rip your elbow past you.
Like this way.
Back to your core. So you're gonna basically give up your back. Yeah. And now we can use that to build height. And when we pull, right, we can pull ourselves away. Does that make sense? We can use that pull to pull us away. Yes, inchy worm. And the reason why that's important is because if I'm trying to follow you, that backward motion makes it very hard, right? Assuming there's a human right here, and I do something of this nature, right? I don't want to pull myself underneath them, right? But maybe I'll push myself, right? Or, assuming the person is here, right? I offer them the back, but they're trying to come across. We can use that pulling motion. Make a sense? Perfect. Okay. The next thing that we have to look at is the leg. Right? The leg is the next weak point. Right? We just talked about how we want to tuck it either here or up here. Right? Well, how do I build up enough height to switch my hip? If my legs are being split, can I still do it? Right? If my legs are being pinched, can I still do it? Right? My legs are crossed, etc. Right? How do I accomplish this when my legs are not in an optimal position? Right? It's still the same principles. I'm trying to get this leg to thread, or I'm trying to come over it initially. Does that make sense? So if I'm here, there's a human, and I take a step over, my ability to face my hips to the floor is not impeded. If I'm like this and my leg is pinned underneath, how can I thread it? I cannot. Right? This hip can't change how I turn. Now, that being said, if you can't move one side of your hip, you typically do it the other way. Typically.
Right.
Unless someone's being good. Right? So, don't view it as a trapped limb means that you can't move. Does that make sense? So, we see that the real goal is the fact that we want to put our foot on the opposite side. This is the marker of how we're going to turn. Does that make sense? So if I put this foot over here, we can tell that I want to put this hip in the rotation. Right? Does that make sense? Give that a try. Achieve it. It sounds easy to say rotation, but how do you achieve it? Right? Because let's say I can't move this foot. Well, if I can't move this foot,
Yeah.
I accomplish the same goal by putting it underneath. I can't go over it.
Right.
Right? If I try to go over it, that would imply that the thing that's holding me is underneath me, which impressive in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? The thing that should be holding you should be top pressure. If there was a magical world where someone was holding you on the bottom side, somehow, and just shotgun gripped you with a crazy grip, just holding your leg, yeah, you could go over. Or let's say you were able to like get a knee shield in, and you want to rotate that way, that works. That's over.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like the concept of like someone pinning you to the floor though, and I was like, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you can go over. It's the same principle. Anything that gets on the opposite side of the foot. Okay, so let's say I wanted to turn, and I'm gonna turn this way, just so you're aware,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, oh, this could give up back positioning. You're like, kind of, right? So when I tuck, cross my feet, right here, I gave a back position, all right. Do you feel like you're in danger?
A bit.
Do I feel like I'm in danger? No. Right? So like, this is just a skill building tool. We don't really care the outcome right now. We just want to see the skill we build. Does that make sense? Build the height, rotate all the way. Alright, now sit back down. Right? You realize it's the same thing, right? Except you're not doing a full 360.
Yeah.
You're doing a 180 and then back to the 180 you were in.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're accomplishing the same thing. That's what a regard is.
That doesn't.
But you can do it vice versa. Right? Can I steal you?
Yeah.
From here, start to turn, right? And then turn again. You can just keep going. either direction, regard or coming up onto the top position, or coming back into a regard from doing a 360. Because you're using it to make space and get better positioning. That'll make sense?
Yeah, shit, I feel like it's like getting height is big.
Height is important.
Yeah, I feel like
Winning the hip fight is no different than winning a head battle.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? If you, so this ability to roll, right, and to roll effectively and efficiently is extremely helpful in a lot of positions on learning how to not allow positions to get solidified and to change the dynamic of what's actually being hit. So offering your back always been seen as a kind of a no-no, right?
Yeah.
And it is. It's an actual no-no. But all rules can be broken once you understand them, right? And if you're not hitting me,
Right.
the downside to it is you're gonna attack my neck easier, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's the one thing that I'm trying to do while I'm doing this? Protect the inside space of my neck.
Yeah.
That's why we put our head and shoulder to the floor. You're not gonna feel it. There's nothing to fill there. It's matted and pressed into the floor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we can do this with little recourse, right, or consequence. Does that make sense? Now learning how and where to apply it, that's gonna be the key things. Because I want you to think, stand up. I'm here. I wanna do a wrestle up. What am I doing?
The same thing.
Same kind of thing, right? I'm gonna build up height, right, and I'm gonna rotate. Right? Same thing, right? I'm gonna build up height and rotate. Now, you're putting pressure, trying to pass my guard or anything. That type of inversion, right? What am I actually doing? I'm gonna be able to rotate and come back in. Rotate. You see how my hips are now facing the floor? Come back in. You see I have all that ability to go either direction from just this motion right here, or this motion right here.
Yeah.
Think about getting my back. I was down, right? And you're starting to do your outside pass, and you got my leg to come this way. That's pretty hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, turning your back, bad. Letting someone get on your back, that's bad. Turning your back, I don't give a fuck what you do with your back. Alright? Back exposure only matters if someone can capitalize on it. Right? Crucifix, topside crucifix. Can you lay down for me? Say I do something like this. My back is very exposed.
Yeah.
There's no ability for you to get it,
No.
right? But my back's very exposed. That's a no-no, right? Meh. Rear mount. Back's pretty exposed, right?
Right.
Go ahead and capitalize on it. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Pull me into you? Thanks. I was head that way anyway.
Octopus card. Octopus accounts.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm not very good.
But you see my point, right? So until someone can capitalize on your back being exposed, it doesn't matter. And we're actually keeping the motion so it makes it harder for someone to solidify on the back.